My team and I always
Because there's a delay.
So get ready. How much of a delay?
Whoa! That was crazy. You're like shooting right at them.
Did you see it coming?
Nah, you can't see it. It's not that. It's not that good.
Can you get me a handful of darts?
All right, that's definitely very loud.
So are we live, Jim?
Yeah. People can see and hear you now.
Why can't we see it on here though?
It's coming.
Well,
Pretty sure.
Are you sure? Why do you if we can't
Oh,
see
maybe
it,
the
that means other people can't see it.
Maybe the connection's shit. What's going on here?
Where's that? Hand me that back.
Oh, that's
That's the good stuff.
Hey, we are on. There you go.
Yeah, just refresh the page as well. You might be like buffered. The dreaded buffering.
Alright, we on?
Should be.
It's like, that's the one.
Oh, so it's delayed, so we just have to go with it?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Oh shit!
hi.
You're gonna hear yourselves.
Welcome to
Sure.
Goons Inc commentary. We are Fury Fingers. Why do you if we can't
Oh,
see
maybe
it,
the
that
connection's-
means other people can't. This is
Maybe the connection's shit.
We are the creators of Goons Inc, and we're going to watch it and just talk
Hey,
some shit
we
over
are
it
on.
and just have a bit of fun.
Yeah, just refresh the page as well.
Say
You might be
Jono,
like buffered.
It's because Jono's controlling the speed over there.
The dreaded buffering.
Yeah.
We'll talk to someone.
That's old mate Jono. We'll refer
Alright,
to
we
him.
on.
He made
Should be.
appearance. He was involved with Goons Inc. Oh, so it's delayed, so we just have to go with it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh shit,
hi.
you're gonna hear yourselves.
Welcome to Goons Inc. We are currently
Because
maybe the connection is short. We are the
Shooting at the TV from time to time.
we're going to watch it and just
yeah, just refresh the page as well. You might be off topic.
Because Jono's
Play
controlling
it.
the speed
Let's
over
play
there.
this shit.
The dreaded buffering.
Let's have some fun. Let's watch Goons.
Should be.
Kristen.
How long does is the standby screen? Oh shit, you're gonna hear yourselves. Okay. Because they can only hear me. Yeah, just refresh the page as well. You might be off topic.
Every day, dude. It's the same thing.
How long is
I
the
have to
standby
take 6
screen?
steps this way.
You're gonna hear
Pause for
yourselves.
3 seconds.
Okay. Because they can only hear me. Yeah, just refresh the page as well.
This isn't the first time you've watched Goons because it was going to be very jarring and interrupted.
Why is that not working?
So what's the issue you reckon, Jono?
There's 1,000 issues with live streaming, but I will work it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can only hear Jono.
You can hear us, but not very well.
Is this mic?
But you can hear good.
Why are we hearing
The-
Jono then? Is there a mic over there?
Yeah, I think it's the one in my laptop.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
And then my live feed in the other tab was like duplicated
Well, we
over.
can just have Jono do the commentary and we'll just sit here and watch Goons.
I'm gonna mute my laptop now. Talk for me. Yay! All right, cool. The mix is there.
Whoa.
This is our voice speaking, doing our last tests.
Go. We're back.
We're back.
Yo, we're back.
Getch.
Sorry about that.
Thanks for hanging out with a false start.
So let's take it away, shall we?
Yes, we're going to watch our entire series. Let's start again. This is Andrew Shanks. I'm Nicholas Cleary. This is Daniel Vink.
We are Fury Fingers.
And we wrote and created this whole show. Our collective hive mind.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
Just for you.
Jono is doing some
You
technical
6
stuff off camera. You may hear us refer to Jono, and he may even come and join us at some stage.
That's right.
Shall we take it away?
Let's take it away. Shot's pretty good.
Let's not do that anymore. It's really, really noisy.
Countdown. Here we go.
How did I introduce?
So,
You gave us these guns.
so this is actually the first
guys.
time. This is actually the first time the group watched this together in a long time.
One for two.
Probably since we premiered it in a cinema, almost 2 years ago now. I think that's the last time we've watched it as a group. So yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
Pause for 3 seconds.
So this scene specifically.
Turn around and then do it all over again.
This scene that we shot.
I know he's coming from that direction. So what I really should do is point my gun right there.
We made this scene and this
But
was
no.
based on lots of good conversations.
This is all we do.
Lots of extras, people playing Goons.
Here, man. He's gonna kill you first, because you're on the turret. Wait, what? And then he's gonna kill me. And I'm just gonna take it. Because that's the Goon Inc. way, isn't it?
Have that kind of thing.
Ah.
Counting.
Yeah. It's like, Jack, can I talk about
Welcome to Goons
my first
Incorporated.
memory of when
The Australian division of Goons Inc.
actually,
is the best money can buy
is,
for Canon
channel.
Our state-of-the-art facilities, our cutting-edge teleportation technology allows us to instantly send any evil corporation, syndicate, gang, our hard-working funds.
And it was Cameron and
Goons
Anthony
working
who,
full-time,
who played
you will
the
be
two leads,
allocated
Joe
different
and-
roles
oh my God,
for
I forgot
different
his name.
worlds on any given day.
As
the
a
character
company
names.
on the
Joe and
forefront
Joe and
of
Dennis.
strong
Yeah, so
arm
Anthony
expendable assets
and Cam,
management.
who play Joe
We
and Dennis,
acknowledge
were also
that it is
playing
the
Goons on
supply and demand.
And I just remember there was a lot of time where there was a big group of us goons sort of in a wide shot while they were getting shots of Lara, played by the amazing Shiv Jan. Look her up. They were getting shots of her over by a tree, and we were sort of over in the background. So there was a lot of time with us just sort of standing around in between takes. And I just remember a lot of jokes around goons and what goons get up to in between when the heroes doing their stuff kind of came from those conversations.
You turn us up, John.
And that was actually with most of our cast from Goons. It was only Steve and Sarah that weren't in that.
Yeah. Everyone went on to pretty much be involved, and that's how we've always done Fury Fingers. It's like a big family. Like people generally collaborate and come and work with us on these films across many projects because they're so much fun.
Alright, you can hear us. Alright, you can definitely hear us now. We've just been told there's a little bit of delay, but now we know that you can hear us. I think we can continue on as we were.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Matt Basso, who just appeared on screen.
Look at this
for the
man.
first time.
What of a man mountain Matt Basso is. Talk about casting.
But just quickly, this is 4 different shots. We only had 4 sci-fi suits, but with shots like that, we can make it look like up to 16 or 30 at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, casting Matt was the best because we were looking for someone who didn't need a lot of acting experience, who could just do a lot of physicality. So we started looking for wrestlers, specifically handsome wrestlers. I think we were looking for Superman was our title. We're looking for a Superman in Adelaide, and Justy Cosplay, who we'd worked with before, suggested we work with anyone from the wrestling. And this guy his character was currently retired. He had a few spare months to spare, so we met him for an audition. He didn't have any lines, so he was really nervous. He just kind of turned up for a chat.
Yeah.
And we spoke to him for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Shanks. And then at the end of it, we were just like, listen, man, do you want to do it? And he was like, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he had such a great role because he had to go wear a lot of cool costumes and just fight people all day and disappear and come back and fight people.
And
So
not
he
have to
loved
worry
it.
about any pesky dialogue.
That's right, yeah.
Actually, we had one line, didn't we?
He has one line at the end, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
What I think really worked about Matt Basso as well is because like in the world of in the world of the Goons, like he is the hero technically, but in our story he's kind of the villain, and he kind of just like he's got there's something menacing. Look at him there. There's something really menacing about him. Do you know what I mean? But
perfect.
he's definitely Superman, and in like anyone who's gone to like a Riot City wrestling show and seen him in his element in like the wrestling world, he is an absolute superhero in that world, and is very much, you know, a good guy and a face. I think he fluctuates a little bit, but pretty much a good guy. So having him play this dual role where he's kind of a hero, kind of a villain, and, you know, where's he going to end up over the course of the series? You know, he's got a bit of a character arc there. I think he just embodies that so well.
We should talk about Anthony because he's
Yeah.
about to disappear.
And we're not going to see him
Yeah,
for a
we
while.
won't see him for a while.
Talk about our boy Anthony.
So Anthony worked on heaps of projects. He was our Pac-Man. He did all the choreography for Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yeah, he made Dan look like a fucking badass. Dan doesn't know how to fight, but if you've watched
I do now.
if you've watched Sleeping with the Enemy, Dan looks like an absolute badass. That is all Anthony. Sorry, Dan. Sorry. Dan.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And he's actually a fantastic teacher as well. He's sort of,
Yeah.
the way he taught me to do it, it worked. It stuck.
That's it. So he's now gone. We won't see Anthony for a while. But he was actually hard for the shoot. He was working on Pirates of the Caribbean or something else. So we had to schedule around him for his small role.
Yeah.
But it was also very important because he was doing a lot of the fight choreography in the last episode for all the other characters. So
Nick, quickly talk about this scene.
this is the big scene. This is the scene everyone tends to remember. Yeah, give it a little pause.
And my most hated shot in the entire film is that one.
Yeah, let's freeze frame.
Yeah, freeze frame it down.
Oh god. No, well, that was the only one of it.
Freeze frame on that, you know, the big close-up. That's the one people love. There's Jimmy.
Jimmy Fragnito. Look, he wasn't our first choice, but he did a great job. He's a really funny dude.
Tell us about these portals, Dan.
Actually, stop it there. Leave it there.
There we go.
So currently, this is the first of many cameos. That's Dan in the background,
Yeah.
and that's me beside Big Dan.
Dan's got a lot more hair now.
We decided my cameo wasn't very good because I'm not really in it. So
You're not in it at all.
Do you have another cameo?
yeah, I'm like the soldier
Yeah,
in
yeah.
F3.
Oh, of course you are. Of course you are.
The sneaky.
This is the first time you see Becca as
Oh,
well.
there's a little bit of a story about that cameo as well.
That's right. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So this is first time we see Bradley, and it's just a little teaser. So I'm not sure if first time people watching know that this is an important character, but we're also set up Sarah in the next shot as well.
Yeah.
Just say like unpause, we'll pause.
Unpause. Play. Now just pause on one of these portals. Quickly talk about the portals, Dan.
Oh, look, we learned a good lesson in handheld camera with green screen backgrounds with no tracking points doing these shots. The wider shots obviously weren't too bad. I mean, we only had a tiny green screen, so there's a lot of rotoscoping with these shots because the portal was actually bigger than the green screen was. But yeah, God, when it came to those handheld close-ups of Cameron, it was just a nightmare. So there is one shot in particular in this episode that I still cringe immensely when I see. Because the portal's just jumping everywhere in the background. But
It looks
I
great.
think we will definitely be a bit more careful with tracking points in our next series, I would say.
So there's just another shout out. That's my brother on the far right of the screen. He's played a goon before, so in the same balaclava probably, in the same boots and everything. That's actually your snake's suit, Dan. I don't know. You made that.
Well, I don't think I meant to put that there. I think that's a mistake.
Don't point at that one. People can't see you pointing.
We can see Dan's face right up close.
Yeah.
And then again, there's the 4 sci-fi suits. There's only ever 4 on screen at a time in reality.
I think we did a really good job of, you know, really making the most of those 4 suits.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
especially in that opening battle scene, like, you could not tell there was only 4 suits.
No,
like, there's
totally
some really, really clever camera
The
work.
battle sets up the series so well as well.
Yeah, it does.
Sci-fi world.
Do you want to quickly talk about that, Jono? So, Jono, we had a
Subbed.
Yep.
So, talking camera for a minute, we had like how many cameramen on this? Dave Gregan.
wait, yeah.
Let's just quickly talk about our boy Dave. Dave has always been our main cameraman from the sort of early days of Fury Fingers, but he's a busy man. He can't always be involved with everything we do, especially on a production like Goons, which was just went on for so many weekends. So, you know, we brought in a few ring-ins who are good friends of ours and, you know, very good cameramen in their own right. One of which was our good mate Jono here, who's helped set up today. Yeah, quickly talk about that opening scene, Jono.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great way to start the series. But what I love is just so Nick, obviously, you just found a salt flat.
Yeah, those are
place.
salt flats. I think someone had filmed something very similar there before.
Yeah.
And we were like, we can do that.
And then, because I'd seen a similar location in another local film, but the area where we were filming at that place, that was all byproduct.
Yeah.
That was all just their wasted
Yeah,
salt,
and
and
it
yet
would
the
build up.
entire first scene, which we should rewind and show it again, but it's all just salt, but it's an entire like landscape that we were able to use, and it was just so otherworldly, and you couldn't even put your hands down on it because it was literally rock salt. It would just like, it would actually hurt your hands if you lean on it, and it was just as soon as you look at it through the camera, you're in another planet completely, and it was so foreign. So, and then it was windy, raining. It was just cold. Things
and
kept blowing down
was
the whole
hard,
time.
It wasn't soft sand. You
couldn't put anything down.
Everything was rough.
Yeah.
And scratchy and had a smell. It was really tough shooting. It was only 2
sure.
days.
Rusted one of my mics.
All right, should we keep watching?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Thanks, Jono. You'll sub back in.
Jono also shot the office scene at the start of that.
Yep, I shot some of that.
And something else at the start of this as well.
So we're coming up to the end of Ep 1.
This is the shot. This is Sarah's second shot. That was another cameo from me, by the way. But this shot now, this is the one people always go, oh, I love this scene. I love Cameron's performance here. A lot of people really remember this one as important Goons.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole dramatic question of the whole series, isn't it? Where is Joe? What has happened to
Where
Joe?
is Dennis?
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So
I
this
will
is
get the
the
names right by the end of this. Okay. Ep 1 down.
Ep 1 down.
Good job, boys.
And
Good
like,
job.
I do love the way it builds up at the end, and there's a lot of tension at the end of the episode. I think that works really well.
Okay, Ep 2. So with Ep 2, we wanted to do something drastically different. So, the first episode is set in a sci-fi futuristic setting. We went completely opposite with Ep 2 and brought it like right down to a fantasy, medieval kind of setting.
Yep, and I think this is Basso's best visual character.
Yeah, visually,
He's definitely the knight in armor. He's a good-looking,
Yeah.
good guy. He looks like he's here to save the day.
I mean, he just like fills this role so well. Again, if you've been to
There's
Riot
Dave.
City Wrestling,
There's our boy Dave.
That's
our boy Dave. Matt's wrestling character is inspired by Vikings, so this kind of character is just right down his alley,
This is great. We love this bit. That was so much fun to film. That's all filmed in the one little area. We just made it look like he was covering.
You should talk a bit about this cave, Nick.
This cave is not a cave.
No,
even a little bit.
All a cave. The only bit that's real is the background behind him, isn't it? Which is just dark anyway.
That's right. That's Michael Duncan. He came in for one night's film.
Christopher Duncan.
Christopher Duncan. Sorry. Who's Michael Duncan? I don't know Michael.
You're making shit up, mate.
And this is always just a throwback to all the RPG games you do.
Yeah.
And this is our little gag. We wanted to start every episode with a gag, and this was how we capped this one.
And every episode, we wanted to start with a scene for Matt, and with a gag that kind of sets up the rest of the episode in a way.
That's it.
Well, you say every episode, but 2 of them.
Here we are.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
In the cafeteria. The Goons Inc. This is the uni cafeteria. We just
And that was
started.
my amazing voice over the intercom,
that's
which
right.
I just did by
Oh, really?
noise, and didn't like that.
That was quite good. Yeah, so this is the UniSA McGill cafeteria for any UniSA
There's
students
Alex in
out
the
there.
background.
What's the old mate detective there? I wasn't here for this day.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, his name escapes me at the moment.
Yeah, I
don't
don't
put me
remember
on the
his
spotlight.
Yeah.
Best character in the whole
Craig, Chicken Man.
That's it. It's all happening.
Yeah, Chicken Man may make some sneaky appearances in future Fury projects. Just saying.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
This is great. This was Becca towards the end of the whole shooting process, and it was really. He said he shook the acting cobwebs away. So this was like after this take, everyone just laughed. They were like, "That was great, man. You nailed it," and he felt really good about it. He looked great. I think after Anders, who was shooting this, saw his slick back hair, he changed the lights that would catch that shine specifically.
Yeah. Nice.
I say we track him down and find our friends.
There's Pat,
Who's with me?
Patrick Clements. Yeah.
blurry Pat.
Ah, there he is. Old mate.
See, I didn't even know Jimmy was coming that day. I'd forgotten we'd scheduled it in, and then he had lines.
Yeah.
So when I turned up, I was like, "Oh, are you meant to be here?" He's like, "Yeah."
So now let's talk about Sarah.
Definitely.
We're bringing in Sarah now. Casting this role was huge. right?
And the next scene is probably our collective favorite scene of the series. Here it is.
Yeah, this is a great scene. Love this scene.
I mean, Sarah was the only role out of the 4 of them that we didn't write for someone specifically.
That's right,
so
yeah.
Cam,
Yeah.
Ben, and Dan we'd all written for. Sarah we actually had to cast.
Yeah, and there was a lot of the character of Scarlett, who Sarah ended up playing. That was we auditioned a lot of great young up and coming actresses for this role, and there were so many different types of girls, right?
Yeah. We didn't really know who the character was after so many auditions.
Yeah.
We wanted to be inspired like we were by Cam and by Dan, or by Dan and Ben and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Sarah came, and I think we called her, she was definitely a dreamer. She has this kind of open eyes gaze about her where she's always learning and always
And
being
there's-
inspired by the world.
Totally.
And that's totally what the character is now. But then she's excluded from it. So there's also a rebel in Sarah.
Yeah, and there's a strength and confidence in Sarah, I think, that comes across really clearly because, there were other girls that we auditioned that were great, really could have played this role. But, I don't know, Sarah, there was just something really strong and confident and powerful about Sarah that I think we thought just worked so well for Scarlett.
And it was kind of her physical performance that made her stand out, wasn't it? Because
Yeah,
the way
that's a
she
good
just sort of
point.
got out there and owned this role and started pushing Cam
Yeah.
around, and it made her stand out above anyone else.
Being the main, obviously the theme of female representation in video games runs through this, and there's a great payoff for that at the end, which you'll see. So, but with that in mind, Sarah and Scarlett she is the sole female force in this film. So she needed to be really powerful and strong and just be able to carry that. And there were other girls that were great and but I think I don't know, she was great.
This is actually the first scene we shot of the whole series.
Yeah.
And that's when we met Hyama, who's in future projects. There's Adam, Russell. This is Russell. It's about Russell.
He kind of became more of a character as soon as we
Yeah.
saw him performing this role, didn't he?
We just wrote, we need a nervous guy. Russell, you've got great comedic
Yeah,
chops. Come on
nervous guy.
over. And he turned up and he made us laugh a lot in character and throughout the day. And we were like, we should bring this character back. And we had a few spots where we just knew a goon had to do things. And we're like, why don't we make Russell do all of them in this character? And it was like, yep.
Yeah.
And he was obviously chuffed. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I love it.
Nervous goon.
Which just worked so well for the world building of this series, because we're trying to create this world where these guys, these goons, these factory worker goons, go from game to game, and it was nice to just have those familiar faces popping up in these different worlds.
We're streaming this on Insta as well. Not quite the same magic being captured, but
Yeah.
a reminder all the same to watch our web series.
So yeah, this is the first sort of battle fight sequence we shot, really. What a shot that was.
Yeah, we love that one.
I love that shot.
This is Anthony Rinner's fight choreography again. Sarah loved this. And there was often conversations during the choreography where Matt would be slamming the sword down on her. And we'd say things like, Sarah wouldn't be able to support this strength above her. And we were like, that doesn't matter. In this game world, Sarah's a very strong character. Scarlett's a strong character. And she's going to be able to do it. So let's not worry about that. She's actually going to definitely rival Matt as a warrior or something.
And she is a game character. I mean, since when
so-
have game characters had attributes that actually match their size or anything?
This is it. So now it's fight choreography by Nathan Kane. So he got to work with Matt and Dan specifically.
So why did Nathan Kane take this part?
It was just about timing, and
Yeah.
Nathan Kane's got a lot of sword experience.
Yeah, sure.
It was fun talking to Nathan because he was like, all right, these are heavy hitters. These are big sluggers, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, let's get some punches, some kicks in there, some knees.
Yeah, and it really works.
Yeah.
It really works.
Headbutt.
They feel heavy, and they're
Yeah.
added with the sound effects that Nick added to this scene. They just feel like heavy, lumbering dudes,
Yeah, they're titans.
Yeah, they're real titans. And that's what we wanted Dan to embody, right?
Yeah, definitely. He's the macho.
He's the muscle.
He's the muscle of the group in this party that is slowly forming. I love this. I love the way he throws those fireballs. Yeah.
You can see the Australian trees in the background.
Now I love the intensity of this whole sequence. Like, it's so intense, right?
Oh, there's the gag.
Yeah.
The health bar. Obviously.
So the idea with the health bar is that, like, when Matt is doing this what did we call it?
glitch move,
The
I think
glitch
we call
move.
it,
It creates glitches in the game world. So Cam seeing his health bar isn't what is meant to happen in this world.
Yeah.
So it's setting up this idea that he's a hacker and he's glitching, and when he glitches and does this stuff in his world, it creates problems and
goes
glitches.
wrong.
Shit goes wrong, which they use to their advantage in this case.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that shot with the bow and arrow? That was a major cross
Oh
of the
yeah,
line.
it's a bit of flipping. Some of the shots are flipped,
These
so
are
you can
shot
see.
weeks apart, some of these
Yeah.
shots. So, yeah.
You can see her eye makeup changes from face to face sometimes. So I think even then you might have been a flip.
It's just a bit of an error.
So with this scene here, like with the come out of after the battle and them sort of, I really wanted to like embody those sort of old RPGs, and when like as you're going through the journey of an RPG, you just slowly accumulate new characters and party members. So there's like a little payoff and gag to that after.
And here comes like what was the most quoted line
Yes,
on the
the
set.
line of the series.
So it's
And
you
what
have
do
my
I
sword
call?
and
My life.
And we would just drop that into any conversation. So what are we doing
My
next
life.
week? Because I need to organize my life, and you know, and we often talk about this project being the most busiest and biggest one of my life. Yeah, we loved it.
I love that shot. And there, Bradley has joined the party. Total throwback to old school RPGs. Love it.
That's my foot.
Yeah, that is not Steve's
We didn't
foot.
bring Steve in for one shot. We just shot that the same day. The next scene happens, which you're about to see.
Boom.
There you go.
And
Boom.
Ep 2. Nice one, boys.
Two.
Nice one.
Here we are
Here
on
we-
a blank screen. So what's
I
Ep
love the way
3
how
about?
Bradley's character developed on set mostly as well, and he just became more and more over the top.
Yeah.
Three is
Oh, it's
Warworld.
Let's
So
talk
we've
about
got Task Force Taipan here.
Yeah, let's talk about these
doing
boys.
a raid.
So these boys that are in this scene here, they're a cosplay group in Adelaide called Task Force Taipan, and these guys have been working with us since the early days of Fury. Like the first time we worked with these guys, they just brought such a level of detail in terms of the costuming, and
it now.
you can just see them the way they.
Hallam.
Yeah, Hallam was sort of the ringleader of the group for a long time.
And now it's certainly Craig, which you see Craig gets a shot here.
Yeah,
and
Craig's-
Shanks does the line for him.
It's so bad. it's the worst dub line in this whole thing.
There's
that one.
Craig on the right.
What is this?
What's going on? But it's really quick.
Yeah. But yeah, these guys have been just an integral part of Fury from the very early days. They've just various members of the group have just been in so many of our films, right up to now, like our latest films.
There we go.
Freak Mega
They
Move.
supply most
Freak
of the guns.
Mega
That's
moves
what
and
it is. The
everything.
Freak Mega Move.
Freak Mega Move.
All right, I think we should talk about Steve for a moment. This
Okay.
is his big,
Yeah.
one of many big scenes.
You
I
begin,
guess.
Steve.
So we had someone in mind for the boss character, and he couldn't do it. So we started thinking who else could play someone who used to be a goon, and someone who is now, you know, the fat cat, the boss, the face of the business. And I'd auditioned Steve for something else a few years prior, and it always stuck in my mind as this great big presence with a deep voice. So we met Steve a weekend before the shoot or so at a cafe somewhere, and he was like, guys, I've seen your work. I love Fallout. If you ever do a Fallout film, I want to be in it. I want to be in this series. I love games, I love acting, and we already knew he could act, so it was just like, oh great, well then you'll do it.
You're in. Yeah.
Do you know any fight choreography? There's no specific fighting in this role for you. Do you know how to fight? And he's like, yeah, I teach sword fighting. I'm a boxing in my youth. I used to do this martial art. And I was like, okay, great. Well, we're going to give you some fighting scenes. We're going to put you up against Basso. And,
Spoiler.
yes, spoiler. Audio commentary spoilers.
Hopefully,
And
this isn't
actually,
anyone's first viewing.
this scene, I gave to him and I said, change it however you want. If you want to add lines, do whatever you want, because it needs to be fleshed out. So a week beforehand, he agreed, yep, I'll just do that. And then he turned up on the day and he said, I've thought about this and this. And I was like, nah, just do it. Let's just call action and we'll just watch it. And so that he made up the stuff about, I went from boss to mini boss to
Level boss.
level boss.
And it's so good. Like that is
good
perfect.
and he
because
knows
that's-
his stuff.
That's
so-
something we hadn't really thought about. Like, do these guys level up through games and like eventually become the final boss? Like,
Yeah.
we hadn't really thought about
Becca
that.
will retire one day and become an office man. Like, there should have been like a father-son relationship here. And I guess we
Yeah,
sort of
like
touched on it
Bosworth.
just then.
And I guess like when
It's
we
more like
meet,
a mentor.
when
Yeah.
we meet Becca, he's kind of at the mini boss stage, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
definitely
you guys
boss.
do your thing, and then I'll come out, put on a bit of a show.
There you go.
Supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like in the game world, he's really a mini boss.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
So he's like rising through the ranks, and now he's
Now he is.
He's
we
this-
meet Ben.
Ben.
So we'd set up
TV
Ben
studio,
earlier,
McGill.
and now we're kind of returning. Oh, yeah, we're back at uni.
So
again.
Ben was probably like, can I just say, and I mean this with all due respect, like he was probably the least experienced in terms of acting coming into this.
but had the most Fury Fingers experience.
We
Yeah,
gave him, we
like-
gave him some serious lines in this bit as well. And they were,
I mean-
they were
Oh,
rattled
yeah,
off
he's
very
got jargon.
fast.
He's got a
so,
paragraph of technical jargon.
Yeah, we cast Ben for many reasons. Like Nick just said, he had been in a few Fury Fingers at the projects at this point, and he was just such an accomplished stuntman and martial artist. So we're like, he can definitely bring something to this role. We weren't sure about his acting capabilities yet, but we pushed him in this, and this is in this scene, man.
Yeah, he
Like
gets there.
he gets there.
Yeah.
He really gets there. And then there's some later on. There's some like later
This
on in
shot
this
of
set.
Ben I love.
I
Like,
love
he's
it
such
too.
a good-looking
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
We've always said that. Joy to film.
Yeah, he really rose to the occasion, Ben, and he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
He really did. And like, I think it was great to have, just an Asian character in a lead role was really important for us as well to have that diversity in there. So to get Ben in there was just great.
And what's also happening now is because Big Dan Becker's Bradley's character has kind of gone a long way already. He's been a jerk, and then he's been befriended. His character arc was sort of finished, and he was still just hanging around. So now he and Ben have this kind of, we call it a Legolas and Gimli relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
Where they're at ends with each other, and
always having to prove themselves
Yeah.
to each other. I suppose.
And we wrote the roles with them in mind because obviously they were both in a Tomb Raider film, and we knew that it'd be really cool to see Bradley and Ben, who were very visually different, next to each other, conversing, and so we didn't tell them we'd written the roles for them until they'd got the gig. And then we were like mid-shoot, and we're like, "Did you guys know that we always wanted you to do this?" And they're like, "No, I was so nervous in
Yeah.
the audition."
So this was probably our first. Oh, no, did we do the final stuff before this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is sort of in the
This
middle.
was in the middle.
Oh, that was my cameo.
Yeah.
Hey.
You get another shot still?
Do I? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait for it.
You
Wait
gotta
for
make
it.
a little
Changes.
back and forth.
I love this little exchange.
Oh, these are those great long shots.
Yeah.
So this was
So-
shot by Anders, wasn't it?
This is all Anders.
This is
Yeah.
the first stuff he shot.
Yeah.
And we said Warworld's going to feel very different. Do whatever you want. It's going to be a bit handheldy and rattly and busy. And it's gonna,
Different camera as well.
Boom.
Yeah,
There I am.
different
Look at me.
camera.
I'm so confused.
There you
What
go.
am I doing? I don't know what I'm
Wow,
doing.
that's
What's wrong with my
star
gun? Ah, I'm out of here.
No, he finds it funny.
and then you did that laugh as well.
Oh yeah, I did Basso's laugh. Yeah.
One of the few times you hear.
This is such a fun scene. Like I remember.
Again, look, it's the same one shot. Just does all the it's like a moving close up, and then we
So
save
dynamic.
it for a little bin gag at the end.
Yeah. And I love
Little
this.
punch out.
Boom.
So yeah, we loved doing those long takes of just moving, roving,
Another Clash of the Titans.
clever blocking. Oh yeah, Dan actually. I wish talk about Groupie here.
Groupie, what a boy.
So that was something like the similar with the Russell gig. That we need someone with a lot of comedy chops to come in and do something. There's Craig again, the Chicken Man from
He
Prior.
totally
Yeah.
steals this scene.
Yeah, he does.
Like he made it a whole thing, even though
Yeah. He just kept going.
I love this. This is so fun. This is just so
one of my
fun.
favorite shots, man.
There's Lee,
The
who's a good friend of
bananas.
ours.
Oh, I get another cameo. Girl.
And Craig again.
And Craig
different
again.
outfit.
Yeah. And our good mate Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene is just so fun with like the glitches happening to all the ammo and all these
The
different
colours on the green.
colours and yeah, I did the sound design for this episode and like it was quite challenging just because there's so many different like it wasn't just your standard gunshots and stuff. I had to like get pretty creative with the sounds that were coming out of the guns.
You need sounds for bananas and rainbows
Yeah,
and flowers.
and I remember like for the rainbows, I was like, "What the fuck do you do for rainbows?" And I think Nick suggested like a
Yeah.
sound, so I found that somewhere.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
Cat.
The cat gun. Love that.
Cat gun.
This hit here, so intense. I love this bit when
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
So this is like proper wrestling. A lot of Matt's stuff's all sword fighting or fight choreography. This was just like Matt directed this as far as the choreography.
I remember the
goes.
first time I saw Matt in a wrestling match. It was that one where it was like a hardcore match, and it was like they were pretty much not in the ring for the entirety of the match, and it was just stuff like that. They were just
That's
walking.
me.
Oh, there's Nick.
A lot of people don't know it's me until now, and then it gets a second laugh if you know me.
Yeah.
Again, these guys are just they kind of identify what the scene is about. It's big, hard, heavy hitting.
Yeah.
They just walked around. We'd like to walk through here. We like to have a change.
Oh, this
here.
I love this because this thing that Matt's picking up is actually just light as fuck.
You can see a little bend.
But
in it
he
if you're
sells
watching.
it so well with the way he lifts it, and then I added some concrete sound effects when it. Yeah, and like that's just like a piece of foam, guys. Like, but it, like
you don't have to tell people it's foam.
The dust on it really sold.
But it really just works.
And this is a great shot.
Yeah, okay, the big gag, big gag.
Steals it again.
Here he is.
My
God's a chicken.
So that's it. We knew that we had a goon holding a chicken. We're like, let's make Russell do it.
Yeah.
He'll be great.
What was the chicken's name? Polly or something?
Penny.
Yeah.
Penny.
So Sarah just sort of delegated herself as Penny's.
She was a chicken wrangler.
Caretaker while we were on set. She
and tell you what, it was
looked
fun
after
having
that
a
thing.
chicken on set. It really was.
Well, we didn't know this.
We had a dog on set in this scene,
Dog on
didn't we?
set. We didn't know at the time, but getting a chicken's really hard because if you take them out of their environment, they don't lay eggs for a while. And it was becoming really stressful, but that chicken doesn't lay eggs. So it was probably going to get eaten.
It's a problem
soon.
chicken.
Yeah, so it was just like...
So we gave it a moment before it.
yeah.
And now it lives forever in film.
Yeah. So I love... Here's another great scene from Bin. I love the intensity from Bin in this scene.
Do you know who else sells this scene? It's...
Becca.
No, it's Matt.
Oh, Matt. Yeah,
Because Matt,
sure.
we didn't know this at the time. He would become the focus of the scene. When he rages out, that's when it escalates. And then the other big character is the dad coming up. Because he actually, his character goes to an extreme and that peaks. Here he is. So when that scene peaks with him, it syncs up with Matt syncing up. And that's when all the...
Who's the dad? Who played the dad again? What was his name?
I can't remember while we're live and everything's
I
happening.
apologise, mate. He's a very well-established Adelaide actor. His name escapes me right now, and I feel horrible.
James.
James Withrow.
James
Withrow. Yeah. James Withrow. He did
He was
such a
also
good
in the
job.
opening scene.
Yeah, he's
one of
in
their
the
bosses.
end as well. He's one of the goon boardroom guys.
Oh yeah. So there you go.
Hey, here we go. This
So
is
he
a fun...
just had to sit there and insult a child for, you know, 10 minutes or something.
So
And thankfully the kid's dad was there.
This
as well,
was
though,
all. This was all green screen. Clearly.
No,
We shot
this
in
was
the
real.
canyons.
Yeah.
Again, we shot all this at McGill, UniSA McGill, their TV studio. Great green screen space they've got there. And this was just a really fun scene. It was a chance for us to like throw in some retro titles. I really wanted to get like a platformer in there at some point.
Mario.
And I love how like if you look at it closely, like it's a combination of Mario and Sonic.
Yeah.
You've got elements from Mario, obviously with the tunnel and stuff, but then like the background in the bottom and that floating thing, that's totally Sonic.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
a mishmash. Yeah. This is my mum's favourite scene, by the way. That was it for her.
Like just that bit.
Yeah.
Just the Mario bit.
all the little characters are running through the worlds.
I was always
Oh, yeah.
unsure on how pixelated
My
to
mum
make
sounds
that
like-
portal in that
Oh,
scene.
yeah,
Because
sure.
it's like, should it just be a normal portal? Should it, fit the retro vibe?
Yep.
So yeah, we went.
Yeah, so that's the big ending. It's like now we're sort of coming out of the game world and introducing the real world, and the fact that these characters are potentially pawns in a much bigger, grander scheme of things. And now the big epic conclusion.
This is the last day of filming, not this one, in the office with the young man.
Was it?
But this was towards the end. Yeah, because we did all the pickups in that dark space as well.
Yeah, okay.
But this is towards the end,
This was towards the end, yeah.
and there's definitely still a lot of energy.
So
So
this-
people were feeling it. They're like, "Well, we've been here a while, haven't we?"
This was a fun... I remember this being a really fun day, though, because we did the green... This is, again, at McGill Uni. This is in the theatre space at McGill Uni. And I think we did that all in the one day, wasn't it? Like, we did we did the green screen stuff in the morning.
That's right.
And then in the afternoon, we went downstairs and did this in the theatre.
Still in their outfits.
And
Remember, Cameron had to go before we finished shooting,
yeah.
so the behind shots, these shots,
That's
that is
Hallam.
not Cameron.
Ah,
That's
of
Alan standing
course.
in the front.
Yeah, yeah.
And
why
at
he
a certain
doesn't turn.
point, he takes his helmet off.
Yeah.
And then I had to like put a digital fake head on. So you see how it looks a bit dodgy, that head? The back of Cam?
Yeah.
It's just a picture of someone else's head.
Ah.
But you don't really, your eyes don't go to that space. So
Interesting.
okay.
How did you have to grade this down much, or was it already this black, or did you have to like darken it off even
Definitely exaggerated it.
more? Yeah.
It's got a nice shine to it.
Yeah, they're so well lit. Like considering how dark everything is, they're so well lit. Did we use the theater lighting for this, or
I don't think so.
like how are they lit? Where are our lights?
Dave was moving them around.
Yeah, that was.
This is actually, that's Cam's character, just went full circle, full arc complete now. That's what that little look down was.
Yeah.
Now this scene, there was a lot more to this scene.
See the
as
back
well.
of
It went
Cam's
for,
head?
like-
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, it's very pixelated
Yeah.
compared to everything else.
Yeah, this was like a 5-minute scene in its own originally.
Yeah,
wasn't
that's right. We cut it down a bit.
I remember when we were filming that, we got really silly. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't remember what was happening, but we did so many takes because we just kept laughing and fucking up takes. Remember, I was reading.
Oh,
I was reading the-
you weren't taking anything seriously.
And I wasn't taking it serious. So when we shot it, I was doing the words for that what you're hearing right now, the voiceover.
And you were doing it in a Scottish accent.
And I was doing it in all sorts of accents and being silly. And hey, look,
It was that late
Tends to
afternoon.
throw the actors off when you
That
do
sets
that.
need to be fun.
It was that
but-
early evening.
Yeah.
The energy
It's
was
been a long
going.
day.
And we're just being silly. We should talk about Liam. There he is.
Yeah, young Liam. He really brought it.
He came in for like a few hours of filming. I don't think he knew how big the character was for us and for the series.
No.
He
Had
just thought
they
he had a
had
little-
he read the whole series, or did we just send him that script?
No, we sent everything to him, and I'd sat down with him. But he was so calm as a young man, just around us. He was just happy to do it and very professional as a young person.
I guess he had just been yelled at by James with
Yeah, James. James gave him hell. And he was good at all this stuff, like
The gear up montage.
As a boy
Love a
sitting
gear up montage.
at his computer, he knew how to make it exciting. And, yeah, I really liked Lane's work. Here we are. So this was like this quite early in the shoot. All this.
Yeah,
stuff.
this was some of the first stuff we did.
Yeah.
Because we were told shoot the hard stuff first.
Who said that?
I can't remember. I did. I'm clever.
I like all the little details you added to the shed, Dan. All the like neon stuff.
Yeah, it was a bit dull without all that.
Yeah, because obviously we shot this in a big warehouse, and all that little digital stuff just really helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not in love with the floor, but
Yeah.
big job to replace
The
it.
Well, it's
board
part
members?
Of it, though. Like I always argue with these guys. Like, nah, it's meant to look dingy.
He wants
It's
the
just
blue
the-
collar.
It's
sort
the
of
shed.
style.
Yeah, these guys are.
Whereas I think we both pictured more futuristic.
Quick question: as the faces are coming up,
There's James.
Cameron has a really confused look in his face. Do you think in the world of Goons that they are aware of the board members, or do you think this is the first time?
I think it's first time.
I think it is too, because they're just plebs, right?
Yeah.
I think they don't. I think in my mind, it's like this is the first time they're seeing all this. Like,
Yeah. There was a shot that never got used of,
Beach,
of
Callan.
of Bradley, of Becco looking up the big guy, and this wasn't time to use it, but his face said, "Oh my god, it's the boardroom!" Like, wow, but it never made the cut. We should talk about Chris in the middle.
Yeah.
Originally, we wanted Chris to play the boss, Bosworth. Steve knows this. That's all good. But it couldn't work out, so we said, "Well, would you like to do?" We'd still like to have you in the series because he's been and worked with us before.
He played Bowser in our very first
Bowser,
film,
yeah.
our
Yeah,
Mario,
he did
Gritty
actually.
Mario World. He played Bowser.
And he's the Colonel in Metal Gear Solid and the little picture in picture. So we love Chris and we love his voice. It's so commanding. So it's great to there they are together.
Goons
They've even
Inc.
got a father-son thing going, I think.
Yeah.
Again, here's just some great, just using our extras to our advantage. Like,
Yeah.
talk about that shot.
Can we pause that one, Jono?
Can you go back and pause that? And our
We
boy.
see it again, don't we?
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Just pause it the next time.
we had a
see
lot
it.
of. Here it comes. So this
Yeah.
shot.
Talk
How many
about
extras did we have? We had about 20 extras.
We had 1/3 of what you can see on that
Yeah,
screen.
so that's been tripled.
Yeah, it's in threes.
And like, if you look carefully, like you can see the double ups if you look carefully.
Like the orange suits.
Yeah, the
There's
orange suits. There's two of them in
6
each
them.
group. Isn't
Yeah.
there?
the
The pirate hat.
the pirate stands
Tried
out.
to move them.
There's 3 giant Matt Bassos. in
What's
there
the
as
guy
well.
with the cross on his chest? What's going on there?
Oh,
It's like a night.
It's a night, yeah.
Yeah, so you can. That's pretty
So you
obvious.
can
You
very
can
clearly
see
see
that.
two of them there.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
when you're watching,
when you
through,
watch it, it's so quick.
And
but
even I think you had to do the effects, Dan. So when they're running in, you probably had a bit of work to do.
Yeah. It
Over
was
the.
a bit of a nightmare. of a
was
shot,
there
wasn't
much?
it?
Did you have to mask the
Yeah.
divides?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the little overlaps.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to feed as many people or get costumes for as many.
I did actually be. I was able to do most of the work just with Luma mats because the ground was kind of light and they're also dark. So I just created a Luma mat out of that, and yeah, that was a lot of masking to fix up the little bits.
Yeah, I think like again, like. Oh no, sorry, go on.
Oh, that was it.
That's it. All right, you can hit play. It's about to get.
Oh wait, can we just quickly talk? Like Callan and Beach.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know. They're just good friends of ours. The two board members you can see there. The one with the
Very
squinty
strange
eyes.
expressions on both
Squinty
of them,
eyes is a good friend of ours, Callan Vanstone, filmmaker from Adelaide, doing great things, and our good mate Beach, who's just what a face.
Yeah.
What a mug on him.
And these aren't actors.
Yeah, no.
They're friends of ours who we knew would be good to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With expressive faces.
Very expressive faces. Love
see how
it.
Beach had his hair tied up. It's just not quite.
Is it slicked back? Oh,
yeah, but you can
It
see
was tied
there's a
up.
little bit flicking out.
Oh yeah.
Just a little imperfect me still wants to get in there
Yeah.
and scrub it off in
All right.
effects.
Hit play, Jono.
So we're about 5 minutes into the app, I think, and the next 15 minutes is just action.
It's all
just
action.
fighting.
This is our big, like, epic end game conclusion. Everyone gets their moment,
This
you
is
know.
Ep 3 of Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah.
No one dies.
Oh, let's not bring that up. Fuck. All right. Again, like, so Nick, talk about what you did here, like adding people to this scene, right?
Oh yeah, so you can kind of see, especially when Cam moves forward. Have we seen that yet? I think we have.
Yeah.
You can even see all the there's lots of people just running back and forth. It's actually the footage from episode 3 running through Mario World. So you can see Sarah and Ben and Bradley. You can, if you're watching, you can see their silhouettes running around.
Oh, here, talk about this.
This is Ben's scene. So
Ben's big moment.
This was written for Ben, and it was meant to be. You remember in The Lion King when Rafiki the monkey gets the fire?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, let's do that.
That was
Have
the reference.
A nerd
yeah.
character that gets to just go ape shit.
And you're not expecting it because from this point you haven't seen any indication that he is this guy.
Yeah. And he nailed it. That was fun. That was with his fighting crew, which is Feat, F-E-A-T, which Dan's a part of as well.
Nice little moment from there. I love what we did here. I think
And there's Anthony in the middle, and Ben is in that scene as well. So
Oh, nice.
We double up everyone to put a mask on. That's it. Ben's getting kicked in the face.
who did the face stuff, like when they get
Oh, like the red eye.
the static on the face. Was that you or?
Yeah, that was
That was
me.
Nick.
That's a pretty easy one. You just put it for a few frames.
Yeah, but it's nice because it needed that kind of.
Yeah,
To
sell
show-
that they're not dying.
Yeah.
There it is.
And to show that they're kind of coming out of the trance. That old mate has
that
them
was
under.
Anthony's scene again. He fight choreographed that one. There he is, Anthony.
You know what my reference was for this was? The Street Fighter 2 animated film. Because in that film, Ken gets brainwashed by Bison, and the film ends like this. It's Ryu fighting a brainwashed Ken, being all like, "We're brothers! Why are you doing this?" That was completely my reference, like, for this.
So you can see the blurry
Yeah.
figures.
And they're all army men? They're all
Yeah.
very-
The colour gives it.
Yeah.
That's really hard to push together. But this is it. We always wanted these two characters
To have a
becoming-
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ben's just doing what he does.
They're kind of, you know what, like,
It's such a great dynamic.
they're kind of like Rocket and Thor.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like one of those sort of oddball combinations in the Marvel universe.
Yep. Here we go. This is more Anthony. We're in a fight choreography, going for it.
Yeah.
Cam loved this stuff because Cam's got stunt background. He's got actor training, so he got to just go for it. We should
Yeah.
probably talk about Cam specifically. We
Yeah.
kind of glazed over him because
We've kinda glazed over
he's
him,
our
yeah.
lead guy,
But-
Cam was so good at being a physical actor. He's got like a dance thing going on as well, and knows how to use his body in all the ways. So he loved this stuff.
Yeah.
And working with Anthony, you know, who's a
I love
treasure.
this. This is so intense.
Yeah. I remember when we shot this, we had to keep creeping the camera, like, get in, we can't see Cam's eyes. We were just, it looked like they were shut. So the cameraman's right under him so that we can see what's going on.
Steve made a great comment about this. Like he commented, "Defeated by the power of friendship." It's so true because like that's what cancels out his spell. Is like
Yeah.
the friendship of these two.
That's it.
So it's like yeah, he's defeated by the
We
power
knew
of
that.
friendship.
You
Yeah.
just made it sound stupid.
Yeah.
And this stuff was made up. The glasses was made up. Let's put them back on. That's fun and silly.
That's
and
kinda
then there's a
cute,
line
yeah.
here. Which
Why does
is,
my face hurt?
Why does my face hurt?
Yeah.
Which is Anthony just riffing.
Look at
I
Liam.
refuse to cut it out.
Yeah, of course. You can probably.
Oh,
Russell
Russell
again.
getting a little moment.
Whoa!
When we screened
Yeah.
this to like 100+ people, that was the biggest laugh of the night.
Russell.
Russell hitting Alex. Alex is watching. We'll be watching. And then when we made this, Steve was like, "So what's actually going to happen? What's my suit going to be?" And we were like, "Just anything.
we don't know yet.
It's going to feel like a video game, like you're creating a video game as you do it. It's going to be red." And he was like, "Cool, that's enough for me."
Yeah.
Well, we told him it'd be a hammer and a big gun.
Yeah. And the hands that are coming up, they've always reminded me of the hands from Smash Bros.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it's meant to look like, you can see through it, and it's
Yeah.
meant to have the double rendering.
I like the wireframe kind of thing.
The wireframe,
Yeah,
that's
it
it.
really works.
So he's a game designer in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Patton Hallam.
And that evil look, Steve.
So this is totally like
amazing.
a heroes get to withstand somehow because
Yeah.
of the power of friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sarah-
'cause they hold on to each
Sarah
other. It's
just made
friendship.
it through.
Yeah.
Not sure how without her friends.
Like the
Yeah.
dance off to save the galaxy. The galaxy.
And now we're into the final showdown. Oh, and the cavalry has arrived.
So
I almost forgot about that.
yeah, a little bit.
And this was nice giving Basso his wrestler moment.
Yeah, that's what it was all about. And Liam
Portal
and
turns into a
syncing the
basketball.
characters up now.
Yeah. Yeah.
In case people hadn't figured out it's the same person.
Yeah.
There he is. He has got makeup on his chest. We should talk about Lucy and Olivia, who did the makeup for the whole series.
Yeah, such
They did a
troopers.
Big job.
And they
Absolute
introduced
guns.
Matt to putting lube in his hair to give it that greasy sort of look. So
What was his line?
we use a lot of lube.
He's like, "I'm tired of using lube in my hair. I keep losing all my hats. They fly off when I go out." So this was the fight scene we talked about, where it was like, "Oh, Steve can fight. Let's put him together. Let's give him." This is like 60 seconds of them just going at it.
I love this when he takes his shirt off, jacket off.
He's getting serious.
Yeah, he's getting real
This is
serious.
his Muhammad Ali boxing skills.
We can't hear it, but the way the music kicks in as he's taking his jacket off, just really, it's like, oh shit. And look at these hits, man. They feel like, again, it's the Battle of Titans. It's big boys hitting each other.
Cam just gets pushed out of there because he's not a
The little
Titan.
fella
Sorry,
just
mate.
gets pushed away.
Sarah,
Sarah's
one,
obviously
guys.
pushed
you're
away.
not invited. And this
I
is-
love Matt's little look when Sarah gets pushed away. There, it's like, no.
and these guys on the floor, this is the parkour guys, the Swizzy guys, and they've been in lots of projects with us. They're the ones doing the flips over the edges when it's time for the goons to arrive earlier. Yeah, everyone needs a shout out. We won't get to shout out everyone. Such a big project. There they are. The characters are synced up. Same again. We weren't sure. We knew that it would be Dragon Ball Z charging something.
Yeah.
And then it was just a matter of figuring it out. And we're in effects land. That's actually Becca, Dan.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Background.
nice.
We were like, we need someone.
We
who's-
ran out of extras by
I
this
think
point
that's
in the day.
me and Anders in the background of that one.
Oh yeah,
That
just
was Jake, wasn't it? The one sitting down?
No, I can't
I feel like he was...
that was Alex. I think that's Alex.
and with that fight scene, we just saw as well. You would have noticed we shot it mainly like in that wired to kind of reference fighting games, like
Yeah,
Street
that's it,
Fighter, Mortal
yeah.
Kombat. We wanted that kind of either side coming at each other. There you go. You see it again. That
yeah,
shot. That's what we're referencing there.
And then
She's got her shield
yeah, this
again.
is the Avengers moment.
Yeah.
Because until now they haven't been able to work together properly to get shit done.
Yeah.
They're always throwing that little ball they're about to see at the wrong thing.
Yeah, everybody brings their A game. Everyone has their own thing that they bring to this. That's kind of been established through
Becca's
the
is his
series.
chest. He just
Yeah.
uses
Yeah.
his chest.
Yeah, like Sarah back with the shield is a nice little
Yeah.
throwback.
Back to the shield maiden.
And Cam,
I love this.
Cam's got a little subplot thing where he's not a good leader at the start, but by the end he's made this thing happen.
Yeah.
And that's there's the foot shot that's meant to kind of feel like the earlier one.
Yeah, a lot of little throwbacks here,
this
and
is,
obviously
of course,
the
the
motto.
lines. Here we are.
Boom! Can you see it? No, you can't quite see
I
it.
mean, you can see
They
a
know
little
it's
bit of
there.
it.
They know it's there.
Never win, that's the important part.
And Bradley you know, re-delivering that line that
Yeah.
Bosworth said to him.
There it goes.
And like the
what's
little
line
the
here?
Scooby-Doo moment.
Yeah.
This was Steve freestyling
I'll get
as well.
you, you damn kids! I would have got a
Meddling kids.
BRB, BRB.
Thought we'd run with that for
Yeah.
a bit of fun.
And there's a lot of extras. So all the extra stuff was done in one day.
Yeah.
Just all the big shots. And this is our big hero moment. They're all standing together.
Our Avengers. And then breaking it with Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy doing it.
I love this. Like, days after days, time after time.
After week.
Are you not reading my memos? And
Yeah.
you can see him actually roving through the back.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's still just.
All right, let's talk
yelling
about
and
Cam,
coming
because this is a great Cam scene. I said to him as the director, I was like, all right, you got to say your line in a way that's like lame. You know it's lame, but you know you mean it at the same time. So that's what that look is, and that little grin of like, just go with it, man.
Yeah.
And then Matt gets his only line. Thanks, mate. GG. Whatever it is.
That's his only line.
That is.
Yeah.
There's a
wow.
lot of grunting though.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of grunts.
And this actually, that
I
shot
love
now,
that shot,
that's
yeah.
Liam looking at the directors, at us talking about the scene. So we just left the camera rolling, or Anders did, and he's watching us discuss. But he looks so good in that shot.
Yeah, he
and
does.
He looks
really
proud.
Does. He looks proud. Yeah.
And-
We must have been praising him.
Well,
for a
I
good
feel
job.
like he's looking at us, so that's what's
Oh,
going
here,
on.
Sarah's little moment here, which leads into the closing montage. I love this.
Well, we should talk about all the endings because we had vague
Yeah.
endings in mind.
Yeah, yeah.
And Sarah became her character, and she was always like, I need more screen time for this scene, and she was always right. She's like, I don't like the way you've written the ending, because we didn't write it very well at the
No.
time, and we had to tell her, no, you get a huge ending.
Yeah.
But it wasn't this yet. It was that part with the Goons board praising her, but we didn't know what it was.
This
Such a
speech,
great location.
Yeah.
this speech just closes the series
Yeah.
so well.
And it's just Sarah doing it, and
Yeah.
it was written for her specifically, and
Yeah.
she had some input in it. That stuff is from Star Wars. That's Ray's stuff, so thank Justy for giving us that one.
Yeah.
Actually, Lucy was in that shot.
Who shot this scene again?
This is Anders again.
Anders,
and we
yeah.
shot it under the Samurai building in Adelaide
Yeah.
for that sci-fi taste.
Cheese grater.
Yeah.
The cheese grater.
And those spaceships in the background were real. We just got lucky on that day.
Yeah.
Happened to be flying past.
Pirates.
I shot the
Our
pirates.
pirate
Nathan
boys.
Kane, who did the fight choreography earlier, we talked
The
about.
pirate scene was so much fun to shoot. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Was that was you, Jono?
Yeah, I shot the pirate scene.
That's right.
That was what meant to be a little, 2-hour shoot or something. Ended up being most of a day.
We were trying
for
to catch
this.
the light. We said so much fighting that's not in it. 'cause
Yeah,
we
it was
just thought
way too
it was
much.
happening so fast. It was so fun. And... So yeah, the idea is that these two characters stick together now, and they form a little Goons police unit.
Little anti-hacking.
Antivirus software.
Yeah, and that's what that the logo is on the shield.
Yeah.
And Sarah's speaking about it specifically now. Nathan had fun doing that. And, he was just
Yeah, because what kind of a pirate's got a laser gun?
Yeah.
hacking
Bloody-
threat
bloody
neutralized. And this is obviously meant to mirror the opening scene.
Yeah. Different
Pretty
world.
obvious, yeah.
Do you remember at the end of the pirate thing where Bradley kept blowing, like when he blows out the gun?
Oh, yeah.
from him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He'd kiss
It's
it and
cute.
stuff.
Yeah, that's coming
Here it
up.
comes,
Yeah.
I had to ask him, like, this might be a bit sexual. You okay with it? And he was like, yeah.
Such a
Let's
good
go,
moment.
man. Don't worry.
Ah,
about it.
look, there's a little bit of a question about that relationship, I think.
There's a question
their
about
relationship
this
developed.
one.
No, this one, yeah.
This one, that people,
Yeah.
which is fine.
There's been some questions.
Maybe they are lovers when we're not watching them. Who knows?
Yeah.
Doesn't bother us.
Yeah, where do they go when you turn the game off?
I like that we got just a gritty little criminal world in there,
like
because
a
we
little-
hadn't
and
really...
It says Goons the most.
It
And
kind of
then
does,
Cam
yeah.
is so happy there to be
Yeah.
getting blown
Cam
up
wrote
doing
that
his
ending.
job.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted, like, what was how we're going to end it, and Cam spoke about, what if my character's going through a minefield and enjoying being blown up over the mines? And we were like, that's great. We don't know
Now-
how to do that, but we'll do this instead. So.
Am I wrong? Am I right in saying that we shot that the same day we shot all the green screen, like that shot of
Yeah,
Cameron
that's right.
flying towards
Oh,
the
yeah,
camera?
yeah,
that was
yeah.
green
That
screen.
was
It
green
changed.
screen.
There's our names,
Yeah.
along with everyone else's.
Yeah.
That's it.
Boom.
All wrapped
Goons
up.
Inc.
Just
We
like
could
that.
we could just play it again and keep talking. There's so much stuff we haven't talked about.
I hope you
We
enjoyed.
can do just go to webcam and you guys can talk about more stuff, or
Oh, you know.
Ah, well. well, you know.
We've got here Steve talking about how he accidentally punched Matt a few times.
Oh yeah, that happens.
My dad's commenting on my mum's impersonation. Ex-mum. There's some Alex who's in the show is talking about watching it. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, like,
thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Like, yeah, we could totally just keep talking, but
Well, how about I ask
Like-
you a few questions?
All right.
all right, sure.
So what do you guys like? What do you like? Just talk about the learning along the journey of writing and shooting something this big. Like, what do you think you definitely picked up the most, and what do you think is like coming from Goons is gonna carry you guys through for the next series? Like, what do you think that you learned doing this is gonna help you with the next project?
I learned, like, I would bring a lot of nerves to set. Just like, oh, how's this going to work? And just by the end of Goons, I could just turn up. Hey, how's it going? And I just knew that we'd work it out. No matter what issue there was that would come up. There's always an issue on set.
Always.
It just became learn how to go with it more. Because we were shooting every Sunday.
It's such a big project, and it was, you know, over such a long period of time as well. Just shooting when people were available, shooting when you could, working around other things. Like, it's amazing how well it's come together.
Yeah, and like considering like I think another thing was like with the writing of it, it's like we wrote it and then just went straight into production, and like it totally like we made it work, but there was a lot of things that were worked out over the production that weren't clear in the scripts, that weren't really maybe didn't quite work. And so like what Nick's referenced just before with the ending of Ep 4, the way we'd written it wasn't great. And just through the production, after, you know, getting to know the characters more and seeing these characters develop, certain things just changed. And that was great. Like, it made the project better for it. But yeah, I think script needed a bit more work in the early stage, but, you know, we made it work and we got straight into it.
Yeah, we were shooting first drafts of this script, so
Yeah.
I mean, like, these are not things I didn't already know, but just in terms of pre-planning and everything, oh god, we were under a lot of pressure to turn Goons around quickly.
Just
which
stream it again.
Obviously,
Yeah.
doesn't happen. But yeah, no, never again shooting first drafts. And I mean, even just the amount of shoot days, it could have been cut down if we'd just planned a lot more at the start.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because we went into this thinking it was going to be, you know, what, 4 weekends and some pickups, and it ended up being upwards of 30 shoot days. So,
But always the best time.
Oh, it just became the weekly catch up.
Yeah.
And afterwards, we all just turned around and said, "What the hell do we do with our weekends?"
Yeah, once it was finished,
What are we
it
gonna
was
do?
like
sad.
we like. I remember you saying, Nick, that it was like we were like, oh, you know, we miss hanging out and we miss like coming on shoots and stuff, and you're like, I haven't missed any of you because I see you every day while I'm editing.
Yeah, that's right. So it
Yes,
was a bit of
30 odd shoot days and then
transition.
months of post production.
Yeah. And then all the headache of getting it finally released as well.
Oh yeah, do we even get into that? No.
That must be such a relief to see it now.
We were still
and have
making
people
films
watching it.
though, like, because before this was finished, we had a lot of momentum and a big crew of people who were keen. So when projects came up, it was like, yeah, let's do it. We can make that happen in a week time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, those are people we will continue to try to work with. You know, we formed such a great family on this shoot.
Group,
Yeah, just so many different, you know, from the cosplayers to the stunt guys to the, you know, the parkour guys. There's just so many people that came together.
Jimmy had his wig on in that wide shot. Whoops.
You guys are
No,
still
because
nitpicking it.
at the time we shot it, was meant to be.
He doesn't in the video.
In the video.
No, he wasn't meant to in the
It was
video.
meant to be in the video.
Shouldn't it have been the other way around? Because shouldn't he look younger in the video?
Well, no, 'cause
Yeah.
that was the whole joke. Like, he's clearly gotten old, and then he's suddenly decided, I'm
Yeah,
going to
sure.
wig
Oh,
to make
okay,
myself
yeah,
look more
because it's such a bad wig.
That's a terrible wig. You can see his real hair sticking out the side.
It is the worst.
And it was all just so we could have that gag at the end of him throwing off his wig.
Oh,
There was no other point
no,
to it.
that was
other than
late.
that.
It's funny to have someone who should just be saying what he's saying next to.
Yeah.
There's my first
Yes.
cameo. Alex, Will, Alan.
Will
There's
Bayless.
your cameo in the back, yeah.
I like the way you lean out, Nick. Here,
Oh, here it comes.
here it comes. Oh, look at that!
And I added a sound
Such
effect,
good head
like
acting.
a floorboard going.
I was actually in that audience as well, but didn't make the cut,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Russell's in there as well.
Didn't I arrive late and everything? Like, it
Yeah,
was all
that
just
was
too
your
long.
first cameo. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's going to be a goon arriving late to
Where's
set
the
up
border
scene.
room again? What location's that?
It's at Aquamate.
Aquamate.
In,
Ah,
South
yeah,
Adelaide.
yeah.
Beautiful big
Such a cool location.
boardroom. And
Pretty
then-
cramped, but we managed to get the shots.
Yeah.
Just the salt flats just look amazing.
The salt flats are so good. Like,
And it's such a great montage.
We're doing round 2 of audio commentary, everyone.
yeah,
We're really
we're
watching
back
it all
in.
again?
We're back in. So like,
Could keep going.
we need to reuse this for Love Guns.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, a little preview.
Actually,
Since
yeah.
I've mentioned that. So, our next project, we recently, if you aren't aware, you probably are if you're watching this, but if you're not aware, we recently received funding from Screen Australia through their Skip Ahead initiative,
I'm not sure what he's talking about.
which is yeah.
Seriously.
No, we're talking about the comments. You keep going.
So we're making another web series, and it's called Love, Guns, and Level Ups, and we're playing with similar kind of themes. We're still in the kind of video game world, but it's more based in reality, based in the real world, rather than within video games, but about gamers. And we're still going to have a lot of scenes which take place within video games, but it's about a couple, Brie and Elliot, who meet in a video game and then proceed to fall in love and have a long-term relationship, which is told mostly through their shared love of video games and playing video games together. And you know, it's we're calling it an action-adventure rom-com. And yeah, a lot of the lessons we learned from Goons and in terms of like production and storytelling and just how to do this sort of stuff on a low budget is all going to be coming back into play on this bigger production. Yes, we've got a bit more money this time, but you know, if you know us, we push it. We're going to be pushing it hard.
Not gonna go far.
It's not going to go far, especially when you're dealing with we're dealing with government funding now. So you know, we have to do everything by the book. Not that we don't do things by the book now, but you know, being indie filmmakers, you know, there is quite a guerrilla mentality to a lot of what we do.
We'll make for food.
Yeah. There's and there just has to be to make the kind of things that we do, like these big things. Like we have to have a guerrilla mentality to things, and we don't always do things by the book. But
we get results, damn it.
But God, we get results, and the proof is in the pudding, motherfuckers. But yeah, no, Love, Guns, and Level Ups. It's going to be epic, but it's going to be a whole different ball game for us because yeah, we're dealing with proper funding now. We're doing it through Screen Oz, which is the major funding body here in Australia. But so far, man, like their support has just been so good. Like we went over to Sydney in March to do a bunch of workshops with them where we're basically developing the series with them, and they've just been so supportive and like, you know, really love our ideas and just want to see us make the best thing that we can possibly make. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun, and we're in pre-production of that at the moment. We're writing it. We're pretty much at the end of our first drafts of the whole series, and yeah, hoping to go in production later in the year. I want to say August, September, but we'll see. Yeah, so keep tuned for that. Keep an eye out for that. It's going to be epic. Probably looking at like a 2020 release, early 2020 release. But yeah, anyway.
There you go.
Sidetrack. Back to Goons.
Just quickly, if anyone has any questions in the chat, definitely is the time to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Again, this is the shot Dan hated.
Yeah.
We could talk about
Good thing he wasn't
Goons
here for it.
all day, all night.
Yeah.
Now we're silent. Comment like that.
Cam's just so emotive. Like I just love the way his character is just so expressive and like this. Yeah, this scene obviously is just so intense.
Yeah, no, it did really
The
good.
power of friendship.
I got to help frame up that shot. I didn't touch the camera much in the production, but I knew this scene was important. And when Dave was setting up the camera, I was like, "Oh, just go a bit closer. Do you mind if I?" yeah, that's it. And he was like, "Yeah, cool, go."
It was always funny, especially like shooting the first episode and the pirate scene. Is we would do a couple of takes and I'll go, Nick, you didn't give me any camera direction or anything, and I'm like, well, is this right? And you're like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, all right,
because you got it, man. No.
And then in the pirate scene and like with the big fights and stuff like that, I'm just moving around constantly. And And I'm like,
well, I know
did we
when
get it?
I know when you know, like when you're feeling a scene and I'm watching you do it, your thing. It's like, all right, John knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's how the shoot was. It was always
Jono,
Just
how long
rolling
is this
with it.
video at right now?
I don't know. Where's Bonnie? Bonnie hasn't been on camera yet. Bonnie,
We probably shouldn't make it.
here.
Otherwise, people
Up here.
won't watch it.
All
sure.
right.
we can do stuff.
Do you want to jump back
Last
in
chance.
and we'll close it? We'll watch the credits again.
Of what?
Of the F4 credits.
Yeah, let's do that real
We're
quick.
not going to watch the whole thing.
Nah, we'll just watch
No.
with the names and the heads coming up. Alright. We don't want to go for too long, so we're going to wrap it up.
For sure. Just quickly ask us any questions.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jono, for helping us get this
we could
done.
totally talk about this all day, but like, we should wrap this up because this video is going to live on our channel after we finish this today. So, and hopefully, you know, people who couldn't join us will watch it. We don't want it to be too long. I think it's probably at an hour and a half by now, probably.
Maybe.
It's definitely over an
Had a
hour because
bumpy intro.
we had a lot of stops.
We got some quick questions. What are your influences for Goons Inc?
Ooh, interesting. Okay, influences.
I could tell you. I remember we saw, obviously working with lots of extras and building lots of goon jokes on set was a main influence. And then when we saw the new Star Wars, Finn in episode whatever it is,
Yeah,
The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
He
yeah.
had a goon character thing going on.
Yeah.
And he was the rebel in the goon thing. And we were like, what if we took all our goon jokes and made it like a rebel series about underdogs? That's
I
how it happened.
completely forgot about that, but you are so right because all these goons ideas were bubbling away, and then the three of us went to see The Force Awakens, at a midnight screening when it came out. And I remember like Nick in particular was pretty negative on it actually.
Yeah, no.
But one of the positives,
Fan service.
yeah, no, and you know what? I've come around
Just
to
member berries.
it's a lot of member berries, yeah. But yeah, like I remember one positive we took from it was that whole storyline with Finn
Yeah.
at the start where he's a stormtrooper, but he's conflicted. He doesn't want to be killing innocents, but he's just doing it because he's a stormtrooper. And then he has that moment where he doesn't like fire his gun. And that was really like a big inspiration because it's
Definitely.
like, that's kind of in the zeitgeist. People are thinking about these goons. We were curious about that, whether Love Guns could potentially maybe be released on multiple platforms, do like a YouTube release, and then maybe like best case scenario, let's say ABC iView, just throwing it out there. But it was pretty much told to us that, you know, it has to be exclusive to YouTube since, Google is a sponsor of this, funder.
Which is fair, I suppose.
completely fair.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, totally. But
And how was the skip ahead talks and stuff? What did you guys learn?
The
and what
workshops
was cool
were
about
great.
it?
The workshops were fantastic. I mean, they were more to do. They were all mainly to do with developing the project, like from script to budget to scheduling. It was just all it was mainly production stuff. We did touch a little bit on release strategies and how to get the most out of releasing stuff, but it wasn't. The focus was more on like developing the project at this stage because we are like very early days in this project.
And a lot of it was just getting to know the characters as well. It really made us think about these characters. So
It was
should
so
be nice.
valuable. Like we had one of our mentors, jump in, John. One of the mentors.
It looked the same on camera. It's not good.
One of the mentors at the Skip Ahead project, Julie Kalsef, who was just fantastic. Like she was such a support and like really, really made us think about, you know, the narrative and the story and who these characters are and really like work that out beat to beat to beat to beat. So yeah, it was just such a valuable process, and it was like the development process we did on Love Guns was something we didn't do on Goons at all. So like, I think it was like Love Guns is just it's gonna be great.
Julie said to us very early on, she was like,
No, it's not me.
she said, I've seen Goons Inc, guys. You know all this stuff already, which is so good to hear. And we were like, oh yeah, we do know a lot about storytelling, but it's really great hearing it fresh while we're writing. So
Yeah.
These helmets were so useful.
And Julie really knows her stuff. I mean, she's from a completely different world to what we do. She made a series called Starting From Now, which is
nah, don't watch that. Watch
Yeah.
Goons Inc again.
it's completely different. It's not, but it's great. It's just different. Yeah.
Steve's got a question. Who was the most handsome bad guy? Steve played the bad guy.
Oh.
But I think the most handsome bad guy would have to be Cam. I think all the goons are bad guys, technically.
Technically.
And I loved
Technically.
framing up Cam. Sometimes we'd put the camera on him and be like, "Cool, Matt Damon today. A little bit of Matt Damon going on.
He's got the chin. There's something about that chin. I've always said it. Yeah, he's got the chiseled Hollywood chin.
That's the one.
I still love just how imposing Steve is in that office scene. He does his monologue and everything. It's so good, and obviously Bradley as well, just with his, with his stiff pose and everything, and making them do the mottos. Oh, it's such a great scene.
It is. And then Steve's not impressed by our response, which is great.
Sorry,
But
Steve.
he wrote a great scene with the Steve, so there's a takeaway there. And then I guess someone has written, I think that someone thinks I look like Bob Ross. I'm not sure who that is. Is he the painter?
Bob Ross is the painter, isn't he?
Painter?
Yes, Bob Ross.
All right.
What about him?
We'll keep that in mind. Apparently I look like
I don't
Bob
see
Ross.
it at all.
No, I don't see
I
that.
thought he looked to have more hair.
Like, yeah, he's like Bob Ross has got that kind of
got the fro
curly
thing, yeah.
fro going on. Like, I don't see it at all.
Well, we'll just do what we want with that information. All right, to cap
Thank you,
it,
though.
let's say all the names out loud. We're about to
Yeah,
see
okay.
and celebrate and say
Fury Fingers.
things.
That's us. Cameron
Cameron
James.
James. Whoa!
Sarah Cullen.
Love you, Sarah.
Daniel Becker.
Wildcard.
Bin Pan.
Fury friend forever.
Matt Basso. Grim.
Watch Wild Time. Steve
Parker.
Parker. Second most handsome bad guy. Jim Francino.
Russell Hutchinson. And Anthony the Man Rinner.
And finally,
Liam
Liam
McGuinness.
McGuinness. Look at that.